Hmm. What is that? What is that? That, ladies and gentlemen, is not my cat's poop. This is domestic silicone. I believe it is meant for possibly a tub, maybe somewhere in the kitchen, maybe around Buddy! Shh! Making a video, buddy. Buddy. Calm down, bud. Buddy, calm down. So, anyway, let me show you guys where this came from, okay? I think you might know if you watched the last video, because what I did is I did a little bit of digging and I dug out some crap, right? And I will show you exactly where it came from. That is where it came from. Now, actually, you know what I can do? I can just zoom in. That is where it came from. Now that is supposed to be my motor mount, and someone was very, very smart. I don't know if it was the last guy, I don't want to blame him, or the guy previous to him, but from what I see is the motor mount is completely gone, and they tried to use caulking or some kind of silicone sealant, maybe like fish tank silicone, to basically, buddy, calm down, bud, to try and make the motor mount function again. So what I ended up doing is I've been busy the last 2 weeks, so I've been pretending to be a race car builder rather than actually being a race car builder. As you can see, the car is pretty much exactly the same place I left it. It's been warm, so I kind of got lazy. I was sick and working and Christmas, holidays, so I also haven't had time. So I didn't take the wheels off yet, which I'm gonna do this week for sure. I didn't do a video because I was just tired, sick, and all that. I did do the idle air control valve, which is right here. So I replaced the gasket with the new gasket I got. I cleaned it all out. It actually wasn't that bad. It had some carbon in it, but it was pretty easy to clean. I cleaned it out with carb cleaner, so I didn't do a video on that. But what I will do, I'll post a link. I think in this video, I'll post a link to, I forgot the YouTube channel's name, but they do a really, really good breakdown of how to basically clean it and put it all back and do a idle relearn procedure. Basically just for the car to kind of relearn its idle. I don't know if it's absolutely necessary, but probably it won't hurt. So I'll post basically a link to the video, how I learned how to do it. And the guy's really good. I think it's called like DIY Garage or something like that. But anyway, I'll post a link below. So moving on. So what have I been doing? So basically, I prettied up my garage a little bit. I still got my list up there. I have my tap drill chart, which I don't think I need, decimal equivalence chart, all that stuff. I cleaned up my tools a bit. I got this toolbox, Husky toolbox. That's a pretty good deal. And I bought myself some motor mounts after I discovered the fuckery from the previous owner, whoever he may be. And I got another package today, and we can unbox this one together. It is well, actually, let's unbox it. I'll show you guys, okay? Let me take a sip of beer. It's delicious Polish beer. It's this one right here. If anybody likes a nice strong beer, it's got really good flavor to it. Try and find that. I'm sure you guys got it in the States. We have it in Canada here. And especially in Chicago. I know Chicago has a big... I used to live there. I has a big Polish population, so I'm sure there's lots of Polish stores and liquor stores around there, and they'll have that beer for sure. It's delicious. One of my favorites right now. Anyway, moving on. So, sorry, I'm a little bit out of breath. Okay. Hopefully I'm not, well, I'm definitely not coughing anymore. That was like 2 weeks of hell, 3 weeks of hell, actually. I was coughing through Christmas. I was coughing through, I think New Year's I was better. But it's hard to do this one-handed. But we will try, because we're professional YouTube race car builders now. At least I play one on TV. Okay. I feel like I'm gonna cut myself. All right. Let's see what we got here, okay? This is exciting. First unboxing video. Evil Energy. I will open the package. Now this is for, I'll show you actually once I get out of the package. Oh, Jesus. Oh, Jesus. Okay. All right, you know what? This package is not fucking cooperating. Buddy, tear open the package, please. Okay. You know what? All right, give me a second, okay? I'm gonna pause it. All right, so first package, this is what we got. So what this is an aluminum, is it focusing? Focus, there you go, okay. Aluminum dash AN fitting, number 8. I believe the inside diameter is 7/16, and the back is actually not any kind of thread or fitting. Basically, it's to weld it in. So these two, what I'm going to do is weld them into my valve cover. So once I get the car on jack stands, I'm going to take the valve cover off, and I need to find an appropriate spot to weld these in. So I'm thinking probably the high side. So probably, I don't know if I want to do it on the front. I'm thinking kind of on this side somewhere. Maybe like, I don't know, maybe one in the back and one like kind of closer to here. So this will be for my catch can. And, sorry, I'm out of breath again. I think I need a sip of beer. And what that is for is, let's open this guy up. I will pause you so you don't have to be tortured by my opening skills. Okay, that was basically very easy to do. I just had to cut a little bit of tape. So what I have in here is, holy shit. Wow, it's a lot bigger than the picture. Okay, so that is a breather. Sorry. Yeah, I'm wearing shorts, I know. It's fine. Everyone makes fun of me. But those are my winter shorts, so. Okay, so, okay. It's a little bit beat up, but it's not bad. You won't see it. So what that is the breather. I mean what the hell? Why is there an O-ring in there? So that's the filter for the catch can. And the catch can is right here. Holy shit, that is okay. See, I think they misunderstood the whole AN fitting thing. So AN is basically, at work I use JIC. JIC is basically exactly the same thing as AN, but AN has stricter tolerances and is meant for like aerospace, aeronautic stuff, and JIC is basically for like tractors or any kind of industrial stuff where it's not, you don't need the strictest tolerances, you just need it to seal. And I mean, the tolerances are still really good, but it's not really called out, I don't think, like the surface finish of the fitting. And the reason is obviously in airplanes and like spaceships and military stuff, you definitely want it to be kind of, why is it not focusing? I feel like everything's out of focus. You definitely want it to be kind of more, you know, stricter tolerances, just so it seals off better and whatnot. So what we have here, I'm gonna have to check what these threads are. I know what that thread is, and that thread just fits here. Now why they have an O-ring in there is beyond me, because where it's supposed to seal off is on this 37-degree angle, and that is actually your, again, it's not, okay. So this is a, sorry, this is a 37-degree angle, and that's basically where your seal comes from. That is a straight thread. It's not like MPT. MPT is a tapered thread, which I believe these two are MPT. And the welding is actually, the quality on this is not bad. Not bad at all. Okay, so I thought for some reason they almost ripped me off. I think that's the MPT thread, so that would be the drain, and the drain thing is in there. I'll unpack that in a second. These are, I'm guessing, they look like 3/4 MPT holes, and that is a, I'm guessing, actually not sure 100%. I'm not very well versed in AN fitting sizes, so I know that the two I just showed you, the silver ones, those are -8, and I think this is -10. -10 is bigger, so it has like a, buddy, stop. Anyway, so that screws on there. I'll probably just take that O-ring out because I don't see, I mean, there's a 37-degree taper in there, so I don't see the point of that O-ring. I guess it won't hurt, but I just don't get it. And that's where my two, I have to buy two fittings. See, I didn't know what this thread was. It wasn't called out in the ad. So I waited till I got this. I'm going to take it to work tomorrow. I'll figure out which kind of thread is in here, and then I'll order the appropriate fittings for that. And then you got that there. So that will have these fittings in there. So that's some kind of drain assembly. Yeah, it's some kind of like reverse. Hold on, let me unpack it. Give me a second. Okay, you know what I just realized? I realized I have a workbench now, and I don't have to work crouched down over here. So let me kind of show you guys how this goes together. I'm gonna zoom out a bit. See, I feel like it's not focusing in this. Yeah, that's weird. Okay, so that I believe screws on there. It's a bit loose, but wow, I just like got a crazy slip. Ow. Okay. Anyway, I'm compressing that O-ring right now, which I shouldn't be. Okay, beauty, eh? Not bad, still classy. See, what I went for, you'll see, is this is actually very light. I think, yeah, it's aluminum for sure. To tell you the truth, the build quality, this is like a $40 thing. Yeah, it was like 40 bucks. I'll figure out how much it was because I forgot, but I think it was like 40 or 50 bucks. The quality on this is actually really good. I'm surprised. And this guy, I'm gonna guess, that almost seems like a BS. All right, I'm sorry about the focusing, all right? I'm not a YouTube professional yet. Hello, please focus on my shit. There you go. Oh, come on. Okay, so now you have this washer here. This washer, normally if you have a fitting like this will be SAE. It'll be a straight thread, not metric. It'll be some kind of inch thread, so it'll be like 7/16 or 3/4. And you should have, in a proper SAE fitting, you should have like a little bit of a lead-in angle, and that's where the O-ring will sit. Now the problem here is, you guys see right here? Sorry. See right here? Oops, sorry. right here, how the thread starts right there. That should, if this is a proper SAE fitting, which that O-ring should indicate that it's a proper SAE fitting, that that little start of the thread should not be there. That normally is where you have an MPT fitting, so it'd be a tapered fitting. So I'm kind of questioning if they kind of mixed up what type of fitting should be here right now. And I'm discovering this at the exact moment. Now you see this O-ring? This O-ring has nowhere to go. It just kind of sits there on top. In a proper SAE fitting, what you would have is, gosh darn it, that O-ring would not be sitting there. These two surfaces would meet up, and that O-ring would actually sit in like a little kind of little, like a groove. I can draw it. Here, I'll draw. Okay, lesson. So you'd have like a tapered groove, and then you have your thread. Your O-ring would get squished in here, and your fitting, whatever, would kind of sit on top of there. So your O-ring kind of gets squished in there. Now, if your threads go all the way up to the top, your O-ring doesn't really have anywhere to sit, and this like chamfer thing is not here. So your O-ring is like sitting on top of here and just getting kind of like squeezed out of the edge when the fitting goes down. Sorry. Okay, anyway, bad lesson, but I think you guys get the idea. Now I'm starting to question kind of their, I might have to modify. Okay, no, actually, you see this groove here? Let me see if they got it right here. Nope, they got it wrong again. Okay. So you see the thread starting right there. Sorry. The thread is starting right there. And just continue into a regular thread. So I don't know if this is a straight thread, but strange. There's some kind of drain bolt, which I understand how that works, but so it'll drain out the bottom if you unscrew it a certain amount. Yeah, so I just discovered this shit. Because I'm a genius, right? So that O-ring will seal off on that internal little flange there. And when you unscrew it, the O-ring will open up and kind of the oil will go past the O-ring into this hole and it'll drain out the bottom, which is fine. And I don't know, you want to put a plug there just so it doesn't leak. Like if the O-ring leaks or something, you want to put a plug in there just for safety. But more concerning is this gap with this O-ring here. I'm really not a big fan of that. I'm gonna have to figure that out. I gotta check all these threads because I'm not liking what I'm seeing right now. But I mean, it's not a big deal. I can always like, if that is an SAE thread, I can always put that. I have SAE tools that do that little chamfer. So I have that tool at work, and I think this is, looks like 3/4 maybe. So I can put that chamfer myself, but it's kind of disappointing. Yeah, not a big fan. Okay, I mean, I could probably just, anyway, I'm gonna check, what I'm gonna do, I'll report back. I'll check all these threads. When I actually go to install it, I'll just break down kind of what I found, what all these threads are. I'm guessing they might be MPT, but this thing, it feels like a straight thread because it's the same amount of loose all the way in. So I'll just, I don't know, have to figure it out. But no biggie. It's fixable. I'm sure most people, they don't, you know, if they're not well versed in what fittings are and stuff like that, they'll just kind of screw it in. This O-ring will probably seal off on that surface and it probably doesn't leak. But O-rings aren't meant to just be compressed. O-rings normally have to have like a groove or like a little taper or chamfer to kind of sit in. So that's not what you want to do with an O-ring. It'll just like squeeze out, it'll get shredded, especially with the heat and everything. So I don't even know what kind of O-ring this is. I might end up replacing it with something that's more suitable for oil and heat. So we'll see. For now, I'll just put this in. I'll take it to work tomorrow and go from there. I'll turn my flashlight off. All right, another sip of beer. Ah, beauty. Okay. Package number last. Let me zoom out a bit. Okay. Let me get my trusty knife. Now, I know I was supposed to do a video, but I think you guys can forgive me. It was Christmas and I was sick and working and New Year's, hungover. So I think you guys can forgive me. New year, new me. 7 days in, I'll try and post this video so I have at least one at the beginning, first week. And what we have here is the second stage of my what am I trying to say? Catch can breather. So I got black hose, black catch can, black catch can, and black fittings. The only thing that'll be silver is that, and I'm pretty sure I'm gonna get rid of all the red from the engine bay there. What I'm gonna do is color it. I'm not undecided, but what I'm leaning towards is that wrinkle black. But I'm gonna go to the powder coat place. It's right by my work, basically like down the street. I can like walk there in 5 minutes. So I'm gonna go to the powder coat place, see what colors they have available, see what kind of textures and stuff they have available. And I'll go from there. So all these fittings, I probably won't take them out of the package. All these fittings are basically for that hose. And I don't have any fittings for here yet. I gotta figure out what those are, like I said, and order them. So all these fittings will basically, they should fit my, I'm gonna take one out. I'm gonna make sure it fits my dash AN fitting because I don't want any more surprises. So I'll take one out. And I'll show you guys exactly how it goes on. So the hose will get pinched in this, again. The hose will get pinched in this, focus. Hose will get pinched in there. You kind of take this off. I've never done it before, but I think it's not too hard to do. So you kind of take that off. Okay. It's different than I imagined, but what I think you do is you push the hose onto there okay, I'm gonna have to actually research this, but I think you push the hose onto there, and there's some stuff that crimps it. Yeah, you screw it on. You probably don't take this off all the way. What I think you do is you back it off, you push the hose on there, and then you tighten it, and basically it pushes it and crimps it onto this section here. So this shouldn't be too hard. I'll figure it out. I think there's an instruction thing. And then when I weld this into my oh shit. This is self-explanatory. This just seals off on this angle here. And I'll kind of twist it on. And you just tighten it. You don't actually need too much torque. A lot of people like reef on it like crazy. You want it snug, but you don't have to like torque it down and put your body weight on it. You basically want to snug it up. You don't want to start deforming the fitting, deforming the flare, and kind of like stretching all this stuff out, because then you'll probably run into some issues. So even with steel fittings, this is aluminum, it's very light, but with steel fittings at work, you'll see new guys hooking up hydraulics and you'll see they'll start standing on their tippy toes trying to tighten these fittings up, because they'll keep turning, but it'll start deforming the fittings. So you definitely don't want to do that. So that'll be welded into my valve cover, and this will screw on, and I think that'll be nice and classy. I was gonna go for the blue and red just to look like, you know, a super race car builder guy, but I'll try and keep it tame. I don't want to get all, you know, I don't want to get too crazy. These are actually very nice. So for all this stuff, I got 10 feet of this guy. Now they advertise it as fuel line, but on the ad they have, where they're selling it, they actually have it hooked up to a catch can. Not that one, but a different catch can. And basically they have it as like a breather hose. So I'm assuming that it's okay for breather hose. I'm not sure. I might have to switch up to a different hose later, but I don't think it's that big of a deal. I got 2 of them and they should flow pretty good. I don't know if the heat, and I don't know if the burnt oil or anything, sorry, I'm burping up the beer, will degrade the rubber inside. But I don't know, I'm just hoping it doesn't. I just, you know, I just don't want to look into it anymore. So I'll deal with it. If something happens, I gotta hook up through my work. I could just ask a bunch of questions to this place, and they'll probably hook me up with what I need, and I can just replace it later with some stainless line. I can just get like regular stainless line. That'll look pretty cool. It won't look too flashy, but it'll look like race car-y. But for now, I'll just go for the black. Valve cover, buddy, get out of here, bud. The valve cover, I'm gonna go either crinkle black, or I was thinking dolphin gray. Or if actually anybody has any suggestions, you can leave it down in the comments, I guess. I don't know. I was thinking maybe even a Kevlar color, like a dull mustard color, kind of like a, you know, unsaturated mustard color. I don't know, but probably just go black. I just want to keep it regular. I don't want to be too boring where everything's either just black and white. I don't want to do that whole, you know, I want to black and white everything. I don't really care about that. So we'll see. We'll see how I feel. I'm gonna go to that powder coat place probably this weekend. I'm planning actually on welding in these guys here. Yeah, I'm gonna weld these guys in this weekend. I'm gonna try and do a video. I'm gonna try and put my GoPro into like a welding helmet, or just like duct tape like some of that welding glass, the tinted welding glass, onto my GoPro and film it at work of me welding those bungs into my, hopefully not destroying my valve cover. I'm gonna clean it up with acetone and whatever, get all the oil out of it. I don't want it to like, you don't want oil when you're welding to like smoke everywhere. It'll probably mess up your weld. So, and then I'll have to kind of buff away some of that red and see basically how it turns out. I've only welded aluminum a few times, so don't expect the best results, but I'll try my best. So yeah, hopefully next week. I'll post this video this week. Maybe not tonight, maybe tomorrow, and then I will, what was I trying to say? I will try and do a video next week. I'll weld it in probably Saturday, Sunday, and I'll try and do a video next week of me welding and kind of show you my car on jack stands finally, that I've been talking about for weeks now. So, and last thing, okay, to replace my where'd I put it? To replace my silicone, I got these guys. These guys, going on forums, you get a lot of good information and you get a lot of deceiving information. One forum will say these are the best motor mounts. The other forum will say those are the worst motor mounts on the planet. One guy will say these are undrivable and I'm getting a seizure from the shaking. The other guy will say they're better than stock and they're smooth and everything. So, you know, I kind of averaged out everything, and I went for the stock kind of stock look motor mounts. because one guy made a good, I was gonna get the Hasport motor mounts, but one guy made a good comment that the Hasport ones are sideways and they go through like a polyurethane bushing. And the polyurethane bushing, basically, your whole motor is sitting on the side of like a dowel type thing inside the polyurethane bushing. So you got like one kind of point. This one sits up and down and just squeezes this motor mount, which is supposed to be like 150% stiffer than stock. So it made sense to me. So I'm like, okay, I'll get that. It came with two more. It's not cheap. It was like 500 bucks Canadian. I don't know what probably 20 bucks American, 500 bucks Canadian. So it came with two transmission mounts. I gotta figure out how to put these in. I don't know what the status of the transmission mounts are under the car. And then it came with two of these. I'm not gonna take that one out. It came with two of these motor mounts, which are kind of stock looking, whatever. And yeah, I don't know, I'll put them in. Hopefully next week I'll put them in. I'm gonna get my car in jack stands and take the valve cover off, weld the valve cover this weekend, and next week we're trying to replace these guys. And hopefully, I'll try and do a video on it. I'm not gonna do tutorials, so what I decided is I'm probably not that great at tutorials because I just watch tutorials. I like watching them and learning how to do stuff. So what I'll do is I'll just do like a simple video of me replacing the motor mounts, but I'll post in the description a link to another channel and kind of give them the views and the credit for teaching me how to do it. Because all this stuff, basically, I learn. I'm not a mechanic, so I don't know too much about cars, but I learn from other channels, and you know, why not just give credit to them and drive some traffic their way? They're the ones that taught me, so I'm not gonna, you know, repeat exactly what they taught me and kind of not copyright, but you know, just kind of regurgitate what they said and say, oh, and you know, I'm teaching you guys. Well, you know, in reality they taught me, and that's how I know how to do it. So what I'll do is I'll just do a video of me changing these, but I'll put a link in the description of where I learned, and then you guys have a good idea how to do it yourselves. Same thing with that. I'll post in this video. I'll post a link to the where that guy taught me. I think it's like DIY Garage or something. Where that guy has a good tutorial on how to change the idle air control valve gasket and basically clean it and then do the idle relearn procedure. Okay. So cheers, guys. Happy New Year, Merry Christmas, if I forgot to say that. And I will see you this weekend when I'm welding the, where'd they go? When I'm welding those things into my valve cover.